Talking Habs game day news. Who won the Toffoli trade? GM Kent Hughes has a press conference. Some injury updates and more right here at Talking Habs. Hey everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs. We get your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge. All right, so we got some game day news because it's game day. Montreal taking on the St. Louis Blues tonight. So I'm going to talk about, like I said, Tyler Toffoli, who won that trade. I'll give you my opinion on that. Kent Hughes had a press conference yesterday, 2 days after the trade. He was away. He wasn't able to do a press conference, and I'll get to that. A few things I take from that press conference. There's some injury updates, some players to talk about, and there's a whole bunch of other things. So let's get right into it, and we're going to start with those injury updates. Injury updates. All right, so there's a Carey Price update here, and it's not really great, I guess, because there's another setback for Carey Price, and it's kind of, is he having a setback? Is he not? He's been, I think he's going to be off the ice all this week, not skating. He is in the gym, though, still training in the gym, they say. So his future's kind of, I don't know. If you saw his press conference where he talked, you could see that he was worried about his future and how his knee's going to react. And just having another setback again when he was just getting back into the swing of things is disappointing. I mean, he hasn't taken shots in a long time, but he was on the ice skating, making, moving around, at least seeing how the knee is with full equipment on and being in skates, I imagine. And not being able to take shots before he has another setback kind of worries me. I don't think that he's going to play this year. I believe the coach, I don't know if it's St. Louis or Kent Hughes, said that they still think that he could be back before the end of the year. I don't know. I don't know. It just, it makes me ask the question, like, has he played his last NHL game? Ben Bishop of the Dallas Stars retired this season, and basically with the same type of injury, meniscus. That's a knee injury, and struggling to come back for a couple of seasons and not being able to, and then retiring. So that's my worry for Carey Price, but a setback. So another one in a long line of them. Let's see now. Ben Sherratt. Ben Sherratt's back in practice. Now, the first report I saw said that he's wearing a red jersey, which means full contact, but I don't think that's exactly true. From what I understand, let's see, I'm going to put this up here. Is this the right one? That was Carey Price, right? Okay, so there you go. I should have put this up first, but anyways, we talked about that. That's how organized we are here. So Ben Sherratt, he's on the ice training. He's wearing a red sweater, which means he can allow contact. And I don't know that that's 100% true, because here it says Ben Sherratt, this is Arpen Bastu this time, and Christian Dvorak are not yet cleared to play, but will skate with the Canadiens all week, assuming, of course, they are still on the Canadiens all week. There's rumors about a trade for Dvorak. That's true. So, I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that he's not taking contact, but he's not going to be playing. Are they holding him out because there's a trade upcoming? There was a rumor, Pierre Lebrun, saying that Sherratt should be traded in the next 7 to 10 days. When Hughes was asked about that, he said there's no timeline. He doesn't know. Sometimes 2 days before a trade's going to happen, as in the case of Tyler Toffoli. That's what he says. So there's no timeline according to him, but LeBrun says that there is. So we'll see what happens with that. So they're apparently the two, Sherratt and I have it here, and Dvorak are they're on the team practicing, but we don't know when they're going to come out to play. Are they going to play again for the Montreal Canadiens? That's the question here. So we'll see. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. What do you guys think? Should at least in Sherratt's case, should they hold him out as much as they can in case there is a trade and he doesn't hurt himself before? Hughes says that he doesn't concern himself with that because there's always some sort of a risk in whatever kind of evaluation you're making for any situation. Doing it now or later or waiting, there's a risk reward to that. And he can't really – he says he's not worried about it. So we'll see if that's true. Next guy that's been not played this year at all. I can't tell if that's Edmondson in that picture. It's a bit blurry, but Habs Joel Edmondson has restarted his on-ice conditioning. He's skating alone right now, but that's how they start. I don't know. He's done this before this season already, and he's had setbacks. So I understand it's his back, and we'll see what happens. But Joel Edmondson, hopefully it's a positive. He's on the ice and he's skating by himself again. So just before we get back to the rest, tonight's game is the St. Louis in Montreal to take on the Canadiens. Just letting you know what I'm doing. So there is the pregame show starts at 6 o'clock. Please look for that. 1 hour before every game, I do a pregame show. I'll give you a preview for the game. Any other news that comes up. There's the Guess the Score contest. So please come by, check that out, 6 o'clock. 1 hour before the game. And then the game, we do the live NHL hangout where we don't show the game, but we talk about it. We do some play-by-play commentary and just try to have a lot of fun. So please check that out. And that is every game, 1 hour before the game for pregame and the live hangout when the game starts. All right, next up, we got some news about this is from Nick Suzuki and from Marty St. Louis, I guess. So the first one is Nick Suzuki was asked if the Tyler Toffoli trade kind of confirms to him that Montreal Canadiens are going through a rebuild. And his answer was, yep. And some other people, writers and all that, obviously come out and said that. It seems to signal that, but Canadians won't really say it. So I've got here, I'm curious as to why. I can take this down. The Montreal Canadiens. GM Kent Hughes won't say that the team is rebuilding. So is this a rebuild? Jeff Gordon told the Rangers fan base of the rebuild in New York ahead of time in a letter that he wrote to the fans, to the ticket holders, I guess season ticket holders and all that, of that rebuild that they went through there. So they won't just come right out and say that this is a rebuild. So it's a bit of a head scratcher for me. I kind of say here, WTF, what the fuck? Hughes said they might tell the fan base what the team's direction will be at the start of the free agent frenzy, which is after the season, after the trade deadline. And I don't get this. For Gordon being so open about it with the Rangers, why wouldn't he be here? My only guess is they're worried about how the fans react to that. So I got to think the bulk of people are ready for a rebuild. I don't know. Habs fans can react badly when you know ahead of time the team's not going to win for a couple of years. And maybe they're just worried about, any clapback is the only word that's coming to my head. I just don't get it. It's kind of, for a guy who did it with one fan base, why not here? What's the difference here? I don't know. It's just curious. I don't know if it's worrisome or not, but it makes me wonder. Let's see now. For Cole Caulfield, I got a little item here for Cole Caulfield. And this is the difference that a coach makes. Habs Cole Caulfield on how Marty St. Louis has helped his game since taking over behind the bench. I think the trust factor is there. That leads me to think that, at least as far as Caulfield was concerned, he felt Ducharme didn't trust him out on the ice. He says also, I think he believes in me and he wants me to succeed. And by saying that, I mean, he didn't say Ducharme didn't, but I kind of think Ducharme didn't. And that's what he's kind of saying there, too, at the same time. So all the difference in a new coach, and we'll see. So far, so good, the early signs with Caulfield. And we'll see from there how it goes. But I think it'll be good. Let's see what else I got here. On Jordan Harris. I made these things. I got to put them up. On Jordan Harris. So Hughes, this is from the press conference, obviously. Hughes was asked about Jordan Harris and all that, and if there's a relationship there. It was a French question. I'm doing my best for the French ones, okay? He clearly said, though, or this could have been an English question, and I'm just not remembering. He clearly said, though, that he does have a relationship with Jordan Harris. He's coached him. He's known him a long time. He's seen him play hockey for a long time. Marty St. Louis' son is also playing at Northeastern. There's that relationship. Kent Hughes' two kids, I think two kids are playing there, if not one, but I think two. So there's a relationship there, and they're asking, will this make it easier to sign Jordan Harris? And will he trust him more than he obviously trusted Bergevin? I guess that was the tone of it. Hughes says he's, amongst other things, he's confident he can sign Jordan Harris when the college season ends, which means we might see Jordan Harris here if that all works out by the end of the season, the last bunch of games in the season. If we were in the playoffs or going to make the playoffs, maybe we'd see him there, but we're not going to make the playoffs. So he's confident that he can sign Jordan Harris. Jordan Harris looks like, and apparently the scouts say, he should be ready to start in the NHL next season. So we'll see what happens there. Now, it's a gripe of mine right now to all the French viewers out there. I don't dislike French people. My ex-wife is French. My kids are half French, so please don't come down on me. But in these press conferences, I asked this question. How is it fair that these press conferences are 70% in French? The questions are asked in French. Do the Habs think their complete fan base is 70% French? It's not. Worldwide, it's not. So maybe in Quebec it is, but it's not worldwide, 70% French. The Habs have gone too far to the French side in media communications, in my opinion, and I think it'll bite them in the ass in one way or another one day. And I did count in Hughes's half hour, I counted 5 French reporters, then 4 English, 2 French, and then I think it was 2 English, 2 French. It was not a fair amount, and it might have been 3 French out of the last 4 and only 1 English. It's a gripe. I'd like to understand a little bit more. And why can't it be 50-50? That's all I'm asking for. Why not do 1 question, 1 reporter in French, 1 reporter in English, 1 until you get to the end? I don't see a problem with that because worldwide, it's not 70-30 as far as French, English percentages. So I think they're making a mistake there, and that's my complaint. Okay. Also, Hughes said he can't. Well, I said this. He can't read. Yeah, I said this on Eric. My handwriting's bad. On Emil Heineman, he said that one of the reasons they targeted him instead of taking a first-round draft pick and a second-round draft pick from this year's draft or from 2023, they thought first of all, obviously they liked Heineman. They did a deep dive into the team when this deal came up, right? And they kind of picked him out. I'm sure they asked for Zary or who's the other one, Jacob Pelletier or something like that, but I'm sure they were told no. So they took Heineman, and they feel that he's 2 years already into the development. So instead of getting a second-round draft pick, they got a second-round draft pick that's already 2 years in development. They like the kid. They like what they see from him. They think he fits in what they want the team to look like. So that was an explanation on why they went after Heineman. He says he's fast, he's smart, he's physical, competitive, and he's got great character. These are some of the things they talked about in how the identity of the Montreal Canadiens hockey player. He says he won't trade players right now, unless the deal is the right one. So it's not like he's not going to trade guys just because they want to move guys now. Or just to avoid, is important here, the risk of the player getting injured in a game. So they're not going to make moves unless the move is the right one. They're not afraid to make a deal right now, and they will. He said we'll make a deal in an hour if that's the right deal and we feel it's the right deal. It might be a day, 2 days, 2 weeks, but we're not going to make a deal on anyone we don't feel is the right deal. We're not going to rush, and we're not going to worry about whether the player gets injured or not. That's what he said. They asked him about how the players should stay motivated and stuff like this through a losing season. They're not going to make the playoffs. He says they want the players on the team, to compete through this bad season, not give up. He's not asking the players to tank. He's not. Just to be last in the standings. So like I've said many times, they don't ask the players to tank. They want them to compete. They want them to try and win games if they can, obviously. And yeah, that's how they're going to stay motivated. They're hockey players, and their passion should be for the game. That's what got them there, and that's what should get them through this. All right. Two possible reasons. I saw this in an article, and I like this. Two possible reasons why Montreal might have went to trade, pulled off the trade now and not waited till later. Trade possibilities. Toffoli probably attracted interest from a dozen teams. There is a possibility that the Habs might use this draft pick, the first rounder, to package something intriguing, since the majority of teams are always interested in a first round pick and will sometimes overpay for one. So as solid a trade piece as Toffoli is, the draft pick will be seen by more teams as a solid value for any possible deal. So yeah, they might have tried to get first round pick to make another deal with that pick. Cap space. Number two, the Habs opened up some cap space in this move that might help facilitate other trades by paying part of the outgoing salary to help pave the way for a Price trade, a Hoffman trade, or a Gallagher trade, to name three examples. It's that word many use in sports these days, flexibility. That kind of makes a lot of sense to me. This could be part of the reason why they might have pulled the trigger this early. A lot of people saying they should have waited. They would have got a better deal. Maybe off season. Yeah, they didn't feel that was the case, I guess. Now comes down to, I think I said who won the trade. I got everything else done. So who won the trade, the Toffoli trade, Calgary or Montreal? Everyone's trying to answer that. So did Calgary, did Montreal, or did they both win? And that's a possibility. So I say this. It's hard to say because Montreal got future possibility, and we won't know how that turns out for at least 4 or 5 years till, that first round pick either comes to fruition and Heineman joins the team, and then we know if he's, if he's having success here. So it's going to take that long. So we won't know if Montreal won this trade or at least kept, or it made it even. So for me now, for the early going, Calgary wins because in Toffoli, they got exactly what they needed: a top six, secondary scoring, Stanley Cup ring in the room, a leader, and a talented high hockey IQ player, a solid two-way player who can play the penalty kill, can play either wing. He has a great contract. So, and it's already paid off. If you saw 2 goals, 2 games so far, beautiful goal the first night he was there. I mean, it just made my heart hurt. But it's already paid off for them in the first 2 games. If Montreal hits home runs with the assets that they've acquired here, then the trade will even out. So if they make that pick on the first round pick, or they trade and use it in a trade and pick up top prospect or somebody established, I mean, whatever, these things will make the trade even out, but we won't know for a while. So just to say again, Calgary wins the trade early on because Montreal won't see any result from that trade really for a while, but we'll have to re-examine it a few years down the road to see how that works out. And I think, since I didn't use all the other things here, congrats to the Canadian women's hockey team, gold medal winners at the Olympics last night, and it was a really good game. I only saw the last half, but I enjoyed it. And just I want some opinions. Is it just me, or for your older people who saw hockey in the 70s and 80s, did the pace and the speed of the game kind of, and the speed that they're skating at, man, it was so reminiscent of hockey back then. And that's not a knock on them in any way. I think that's a step up from the last time I got to watch them. And I really enjoyed the hockey. I think they're much better skill-wise, skating, speed-wise, all that, much better game. And congrats to the Canadian women. Yeah, Matt's not here to be sad about the U.S. women. And just a surprise that both the American men and Canadian men are out. So there are no medal chances for either country. And not a surprise with the Canadian team, but I think a shocker for the Americans, the way they lost. Was a shootout, I think. I don't remember the team that knocked them out. But anyways, so there you go. That's my game day news. Please join us at the pregame show an hour before the game and at the live hangout for the game. And hopefully we'll see you there. So that's it. I appreciate that everybody was here. And see this. Subscribe and ring that notifications bell. And hey, give a thumbs up. And this one. And check out that video up in the corner over there. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay safe out there. Peace out. And I'll see you next one. Bye, everybody.